Hello, I'm DerTebbers, and this is your simulator game review of Tow Truck Simulator 2015. Have you ever wanted to tow a car because they parked terribly? I have. And if so, this isn't your game. Seriously, don't buy this game. This is Tow Truck Simulator 2015. Yes, it is still 2014, and yes, this game released in February 2014, which only goes to show you that simulator game companies don't really own a calendar. The pop-in in this game when you load in is absolutely epic, with cars and buildings and stop signs just popping in left and right, because the rendering on the load screen wasn't necessary. I don't know why, but that's just the way it works. It's awesome. The graphics and detail of the city is spot on for any major city, designed by a 5-year-old. Who might have ADHD. Who else would put a building on a road and then have cars drive through the building? I'm going with the 5-year-old. It's a vampire car. It has no shadow. Wait, it's reflections. Vampires and reflections. That's what it is. Anyway, this car doesn't have a shadow. That's kind of disconcerting. I mean, what kind of car doesn't cast a shadow? I don't know. I wouldn't drive it. I'd be scared of driving it. The crane is lightning fast when you compare it to geological time. Seriously, we can watch like rocks erode and it would be faster. I promise. I've done it. The help menu is as easy to understand as a science paper written by Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Seriously, look at it. Took me a while to figure that out. In fact, it took me nearly 2 hours to figure out how to switch trucks. Yes, it took me that long. I'm not going to tell you how because I don't want you to buy the game. And the game is absolutely broken. Not only does the camera randomly detach itself and go on a walkabout. I presume either it's embarrassed of being in the game or it's just completely bored because it took 10 hours to get the crane to work. In addition, there's no true save game ability. They say you can work your way up. To what they never really say, but there doesn't actually appear to be a way to save a game and come back to it. It does say it's saving the game when you deposit a vehicle in the yard. It says it quite clearly, yet I have yet to figure out how to actually go back into that save game. There is a continue button on the menu that never is ungrayed. Ever. I don't know how to save the game. There's no way in the console even to save the game. So really, I don't know what's going on there. It is extremely rare to attach a car to a crane without damaging it. Now let's think about this for a minute. You're a tow truck operator. You're using a crane to bring a car onto the back of your truck. You're going to properly position the crane. You're going to tie the straps onto the car in the proper manner with the little shoe boot thingies. And then you'll lift it gently up, right? Watch this car jump when I attach it. Yeah. That's proper, right? Of course it is. Physics refused to be a part of this game, and I believe went on strike. Were protesting the entire time. It's the only reason I can think of that a Volkswagen Golf with a 60-40 weight distribution, at 60% of the weight on the front tires, tips towards the rear when you pick it up. The best I can figure is the people in this town, they got a lot of junk in their trunk. Each round takes about 10 minutes, and that's not the full length. That does not count the time to drive from the yard to the car, or from the car's parking spot back to the yard. That's just the time it takes to get the car on the truck and off the truck. 10 minutes, give or take. You can get it faster. Every once in a while, the game glitches out and creates super speed crane. That's usually right before the camera takes off. Every single time, that's how it's happened to me. So you have 10 minutes for each round where you pick up a car. They show that you need 15 cars to advance. That means a base minimum of 150 minutes of just picking cars up and putting them down, not including the driving, so you better figure 200 plus minutes of time to make it to the next round. That's 150 to 200 minutes of bug-free play. I'm sorry. You're just not going to see this ever with this game. The longest I've managed is 40 minutes, before this happened. And I'm still not sure what exactly this is. Best I can assume is that there's an invisible wall there. I just don't know. Yeah. And that's not the only time that something weird has happened. In this example, I got the car on the back, but the attach signal never showed up. I literally could not attach this car to my truck. The only option I had was to put it back down on the ground and try again, but guess what? The camera walked off, and I couldn't do anything about it. The game is completely and totally broken beyond any imaginable belief. It's not worth the digital bytes on your computer. I'm all about simulators, but this kind of game gives simulators such a bad name. Don't buy it. You only are going to make companies like this put out more. And just so we're all clear, this is UIG, and I did know coming into this that this game was probably completely broken. Of the 3 vehicles you have this truck, which is just a crane truck. It's a basic, simple crane truck. It can only pick up small cars. Subcompacts, basically. Anything like a Volkswagen Passat or Aston Martin, which is what I think some of these vehicles are. They will not go on this truck. It is too heavy for your truck. The second truck is a heavy-duty crane truck. This can lift up most everything that I have found. Both crane trucks suffer the same problem with their crane. The third vehicle is a rollback. Now this is probably the best vehicle in the game if you want to say that. It's still slow, don't get me wrong, but at least there's some tricks to make it go a little bit faster. If you play around with it, you can find that the chain is actuated in 2 modes. Good luck finding that out in the help file, by the way, referencing back to Dr. Sheldon Cooper's science paper. But you can make the chain go down really fast and then switch to the chain and attach it to the car and then slowly pull the car on. There is a problem with this, though. One, you actually have to know how far your truck is going to slide back in order to deposit your car in the yard. I've actually had a problem where I basically was going to deposit a car into another car, and then we had to go and pull the car all the way back onto the truck to move it forward. Not exactly the best thing. Second, while you're pulling it onto the truck, often the car starts to slide to one direction or the other. There's no way to get it back up straightened at all that I have figured. Additionally, if you accidentally were to hit the fast button while trying to get the car on or off, this happens. Yeah. Very special, isn't it? See, I've had cars towed by rollbacks. It doesn't take this long to get a car on and off a rollback. I know it. Yet, somehow it does here in this game. I can only assume that's the German way of doing rollback tow trucks. When the camera is working, the camera is probably the biggest pain in the butt. You have trouble telling distance, judging range, and the camera constantly is jumping around. And the reasoning is presumably running clippage against buildings, random assets that are in the scenery, or the car. The best is when it zooms in really close and then flies way back because of random reasons. So even when the camera does want to work, which doesn't always happen, it's not always your best friend. You also get weird pulsing if you have it in the wrong spot. Trees are in your way. Buildings don't usually get in your way, but trees do, for whatever reason. There are 3 modes in this game. There's the cleaner, which is the only one that I've spent any decent amount of time in. You basically clean up the city. Great. Apparently nobody parks properly in this city because they are terrible, but still, you clean up the city. Time trial is exactly what you'd expect it to be. Yeah, glacier speeds and all. It's ridiculous. Free play is basically like cleaner, only it just goes on forever. You do get 60 euros per car you tow, but what that's used for, nobody ever says. And I truly believe that this game probably was supposed to have some sort of upgrade features or something like that, and they just shipped it. The game is broken. Don't buy it. Don't give them your money, because it just encourages them to make more terrible games. And if someone gives you the game, I'm just thinking they probably don't like you as much as you might think, because they're giving you a really bad game. I've been DerTebbers. This has been your simulator game review of Tow Truck Simulator 2015, a quantifiable do not buy it because it's broken. Until next time, park your cars properly or I'll come tow them.